Hello and welcome to another episode of Building Character, where Dixie and I make characters by building them with bricks and stuff. That's
Wait, I just have
exactly how this
bricks? I
works.
don't have any bricks.
Sorry, I thought I mentioned it. Yeah, you need some mortar, some bricks. We're gonna build a wall.
Wait, what? Do you have a cask of Montiato you want to show me?
just come down to the basement for a second. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be great.
I'm Eddie Webb. I am the executive producer at Onyx Path Publishing, joined by my lovely colleague
You just dyed her hair.
who just dyed her hair,
And therefore
Dixie.
it's doing weird things on stream. It's got like some static. It's okay.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
It'll be fine.
Dixie is the editor in chief at Onyx Path Publishing. And today, assuming everyone can hear us, because we seem to be doing okay.
I mean, the audio mixer is bouncing. It
Good.
says that they can hear us.
Excellent. Excellent. So yeah, I apologize for the kind of delay of the stream, but we were running late because I have a Steam Deck now, and that's really the only reason I can give. Is I now own a Steam Deck.
I mean,
So
also, I had to get up this morning and dye my hair because I forgot I was going to be on stream when I bleached it yesterday. And I was like, yeah, I'll
yes,
dye it the next couple days. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to be on stream, and I look weird right now.
but you were still on time and ready to go, and I was still like, oh yeah, I should probably do things and get things ready. So
That's okay.
it's all good. But yeah, so we're gonna be making characters for Trinity Continuum Aeon. And for those who don't know, Trinity Continuum Aeon is one of the Trinity Continuum settings. It is our kind of far future space opera setting. It's set in the 2100s, I believe it's 21, 23, yes, specifically. And it's kind of, if you've played Mass Effect or um, Star Trek, Star Wars, again, it's that kind of genre. It's a little more, I don't want to say hard sci-fi, but harder than, like, say, the more science fantasy of Star Wars.
Hmm.
But it is definitely about specifically characters who are exploring the galaxy, and also the default characters for this are scions, which are characters with unusual psychic powers.
Children of the Gods, right?
Yes. PSION versus SCION, which is something that gives us no end of conversation as we make these various games. That's the downside of inheriting these properties to a degree. It's like, oh, well, we made that different, but whatever. So when we say scion for today, we're talking about people with psychic powers, because it's a thing. In print, it's very easy to keep clear, but when you're saying it
Yeah,
out loud, not so much.
exactly.
Um, so I guess do you want to just dive in?
Yeah, let's do a Did You Know? And then show a
Okay,
character sheet. And also, the sun's coming out, so everything's strange in this weird void I live in right now, but that's okay.
everything's on fire.
All right, here's a fact. And we're back, and we're tiny.
Yay, super tiny.
Tiny in corners.
So if you have played a Trinity before, or really any story path game, a lot of this is going to look familiar, but we're going to go through step by step, just like we do
Yeah.
with all of these. You do need both the Trinity core rulebook as well as the Aeon book. Uh, this the Trinity core has the core character creation rules, and then Aeon will add on to and modify those as
Hmm.
we go on.
Which we
So
conveniently put into one Kickstarter.
indeed, so if you backed the initial Aeon Kickstarter, you did get both books, so it was very, very handy. But you'll see here for Aeon that it's kind of glancing over the first few steps before I get to the major steps. So
Hmm.
I'm going to actually bounce back over to. So actually, let's start with step one, which is your character's name, background, and aspirations. And if you are a scion, pick your psi orders. So let's.
I never name my character till the end.
Right.
Names are
So
the last thing. Concepts are first.
right. So let's start with our concept. And again, this is kind of uh, uh, a sci-fi thing. Um,
Hmm.
so we have a few different options in core Aeon. So we could be set on Earth. We could be set on a ship. We could be set on various other planets. The Moon has its own kind of colony and its own separate kind of setting, if you will.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And this is definitely long after a pretty devastating war about 100 years prior. So
Did
Earth
that
has
war
rebuilt.
involve aberrants?
It may, in fact, involve aberrants, which may be familiar to people of other Trinity games, but we're not going to worry about that part. Aberrants are just scary people with massive powers that we don't like. So I'm thinking for ease of this, let's assume that we are based on Earth and kind of in a Trinity core-ish setup of, we are troubleshooters who are doing various things around the galaxy to try to help
You're the
out.
opposite of me because I was like space game, space game,
Okay, we could just space too.
space game. I mean, I just
um,
feel like we've made a bunch of like talent level characters over the years, and
that's true.
even though these will be above that, like I think it'll be cool to go out of setting because we're like most of the games that we've played have been on Earth, so
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be fun to do like we're space pirates or space helpers or whatever, space charity workers,
Okay, so let's
like
maybe
Captain Marvel.
I was thinking like or like Doctors Without Borders kind of thing of like people
Doctor
help
Who's
workers.
Without Borders.
I see what you did there. I understood that reference. But
You,
yeah, like
you
we
of all
have a
people.
small ship, and we are part of a crew that goes out to various trouble spots throughout the galaxy and
Yeah.
help out.
Yeah, so it's still kind of like playing a base Trinity game, but
Mhm.
we're not confined to Earth. We go to all kinds of weird places.
Okay,
We're like a
all
Star
right,
Trek mission, you know?
right.
We're like second contact or third contact.
So like lower decks,
I'm
we show
okay
up with the
with
paperwork.
I'm okay with lower decks.
If anyone doesn't watch Star Trek Lower Decks, it is genuinely a funny show.
It's I
If you
think my
recommend it,
favorite Star Trek show. I'm not even lying. I've seen many
it's
many Star Trek shows, but I think that one's my favorite.
it is definitely in the top three for me.
Also today, for those of you watching live, it is Star Trek Day, and they'll be doing all the Star Trek announcements at 3 p.m.
Yes,
Eastern.
right.
So in 2 hours, check out some Star Trek announcements if you're a Star Trek fan.
If I were clever, I would have said that this was planned, but it just pure coincidence.
No, I planned this. That's why I said Space Game. I definitely planned it and didn't just make the connection just now.
You're so good at this.
Okay, we should make characters. We feel
Right. Okay.
it's
So
only an hour-long show.
right. So for concepts, uh, what are you thinking? I mean, if we're playing aid workers, I mean, we could see kind of like someone who's more
I think I want to be the medical officer
medical officer. Okay.
or
Um,
medical something, medical liaison. I don't know.
I'll
What I'm
do
gonna call it.
kind of more, let's call security.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, and for a small crew, obviously that's a pretty wide range of stuff. It's not going to, I think, just muscle, probably a little bit of investigation stuff
Yeah,
too.
like mine's probably gonna be like medical slash science, and I
Yeah,
probably got some other training because otherwise I wouldn't be going out to these random ass planets to help people.
right,
Like I could probably use some kind of phaser device.
right. Next, we have aspirations, which are two short-term and one long-term. And we talked about aspirations for basically these are things that you kind of want to do during a game session. Short terms are something that would happen within a session or two. Long term is over the course of a story or two.
Hmm. So my short term's gonna be to heal someone because that's just a pretty easy short term one.
Right.
Um, and then my long term is going to be advanced medical science. I'm going to leave that really open-ended because it could just be like, oh, I discover a plant on a planet that cures cancer. Or it could be like, I learn about a new kind of bandage that heals wounds faster from some alien species.
Yeah. So I have protect someone in my short term, discover some new beneficial thing as a long term, which is tied to yours. It's less of a scientific thing and more of like,
That means we could
a new,
even fill them together if we wanted to,
right. Yeah.
which is kind of cool.
And I'm going to leave the second short term one blank for now, which is, we talked before, it's pretty common in character creation to, if you can change your aspirations at any point in time between sessions, and sometimes some aspirations just don't pan out. So I mean, leaving one blank to kind of see how a game goes is not a problem. So we talked about that. Okay, so I think then if we're Scion, we also pick our Scion order. And actually, that kind of rolls into paths. So let's kind of just do that there because I'm assuming we're going to be Scions to show how that works.
Yeah, of course we are. That's why we're on this mission, because we're cool.
Right. Is your psychic powers. So now we have paths, which are origin, role, and society. So our society ones are going to be our Saya orders. We'll get to that next. There are some new role and origin paths in this game. We have
I have
for
too
role
many windows open.
off-Earth colonist, spacer, which may be what we want to do. Space military, which actually may be what I want to do. And then for origin, we have Oceanian, which is someone who's actually born in Oceania, which is an underwater nation. There's basically a high-tech city. It's basically Atlantis, but high-tech and underwater.
Yeah, I think I should be a spacer and you should be the space military.
That's what I was thinking. That makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
So that's the role path.
Spacer. What do I get from this?
So spacer, you get enigmas, pilot, science, and technology.
How many dots is it again? I always ask you this question. 3 to distribute.
You have 3 dots per of the 4 skills in each path.
Right. So it's 3 dots to distribute among those 4.
Yeah.
Okay. I have picked 2 in science and 1 in enigmas to start with.
So I'm going to pick 2 in command and 1 in pilot.
Awesome. I'm glad that somebody can pilot the ship that we're on.
I was just thinking that. It's like, I probably should have someone who can do that.
Although we could probably have an NPC pilot. It's fine.
And then you have a list of edges, of which you pick, I want to say 2 dots. Let me check that.
2 dots.
Yes, you have 2 dots of edges. So I'm probably going to pick...
I scrolled to a weird place. Now I can't find my place anymore. Oh no, what did I do?
Yeah. Variable gravity training. Actually, I think I may take variable gravity combat training. It gives me both of my dots.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What's the difference between low gravity adaptation and variable gravity training? Oh, here we go. I found them.
Yeah. So variable gravity training is reduced level of complications for gravity conditions by 1. And what was the other one?
Low gravity adaptation.
I think it's the same, but for low gravity.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take Ms. Fix-It as one of mine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And put 1 dot in that. And then I'm going to take... I'll take variable gravity training. That makes sense. Okay, cool. So I got those. All right.
So we still have to do our origin path.
And that can be from one of these big... are there origin paths now? There are, right? Yeah, just the Oceanic one.
The Oceanian is the only one.
Well, I'm not going to take that.
So... Yeah. So I'm going to look at path creation in the core book.
Are you going to make your own path?
Yeah, no, I'm going to look at some basic ones and maybe modify them. You can make your own bespoke, but I find that it's better to kind of take an existing one that's closed and then just move skills and edges around.
Totally.
But I think military breath actually works pretty much as red for me.
Let's see.
And that's going to give me command, enigmas, integrity, and technology, which is good because I actually want enigmas. So we get 2 of those in a point in integrity. I'm going to leave technology. I'm going to leave my technology options open because I figure you'll take a lot of that.
Yeah, I'm going to take suburbia as mine.
Okay.
I think I grew up kind of normally and then decided I wanted to do something better. If I could spell suburbia, that'd be great. Suburbia.
For my edge, I'm going to take one of my favorite edges, frankly, that I don't think enough people take, and it's a shame because it's a really useful edge, is small unit tactics.
That's a really good edge.
Find it. There it is. But basically, yeah, it's add 2 enhancements to any combat maneuver involving a team. It's so useful.
I'm going to take empathy and technology from mine. I'm going to do 2 dots in empathy and 1 in tech for right now. Just because that makes sense for my character. And then you get 2 edges from this one too, or two dots and
Yep,
edges.
2 dots and edges. Yep.
I think library is appropriate for my character.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I think I'm just gonna put 2 dots in
And
library.
and I mean, you can say it's a computer.
Yeah, well, yeah, like it's my library on my phone,
Right.
but library.
Space phone. Yeah.
I have access to information.
Right.
All right, cool.
And then we have our society paths, which we already talked about is going to be one of the psi orders. And these are the equivalents of allegiances in core. Some of them are not available to us. Let me pull up the lists here.
Like quantikinesis?
Yes. So there's the ones that are available to us are the Asclepian order, which maybe you want to probably look at. That's the one that's the Vitakinesis, which is they're the healers.
Yeah, I was interested in them or Norca, but probably the Asclepians would be me.
Right. There's ISRA, the Legions, Ministry, Norca,
You're probably
Orbitech.
legions, aren't you?
Probably. And in Scion,
or Oikotech. That could be cool too.
Yeah. So for everyone listening, each of the psi orders was founded by one character who was proxy, the most powerful version of it, and they have studied one psionic aptitude, and they've created what's called a Prometheus chamber to give more people access to that particular aptitude. So whichever order you pick is also kind of the power you get access to. So I agree with you. I'll probably take one of the legions.
Yeah, this is where I get my medicine from. I'm going to put all 3 of my dots in medicine. Because I've already got some science and some empathy. And that's like my main thing.
That makes sense. So for me, let's see, aim, athletics, close combat, and command. Yeah, I'm going to get all my combat stuff from here. Let's take 2 dots at aim and 1 dot at close combat. It's funny, all 3 of my paths have command. That's pretty amusing. Edges, splendid tactics, hooray. Let's see, always prepared. Actually, I do like always prepared. That's another really good one that doesn't get enough use. Let me see. Double check how many. That's 1 dot. And that's the one, basically, you can't be ambushed.
I'm actually going to get rid of my library because in rapid response protocols, which is the Asclepian one, you can always request analysis of disease, pathogen, toxin, or injury, and the order staff will perform the equivalent of a research action with a 3-dot library specializing in medicine.
Oh, so you can get library and a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, like, it wouldn't be for all things, but it would at least be for medical things.
Which is probably what you'd be using it mostly for. But that's your xenobiology.
I think I'm going to take both, though, because I think that this one is specifically for medicine and toxins. And I also want to be able to analyze, like, any other, like you said, like, xenobiology stuff that I find that isn't those. Right. So I'm going to keep both of them, as it turns out.
As a note, I do have to pick up Legion Armor. It is listed as a required edge, so...
Oh, really?
One of my dots does need to go into Legion Armory.
Cool.
That's fine. I get more weapons. Basically, I can access to military-grade weapons, armor, and equipment without difficulty, regardless of my personal wealth. And no one can stop me from carrying them because I have authorization, which is nice. Okay, so...
I'm picking my other edge, but you can move on.
Right. We should have already 12 dots in skills. Which I forgot to do my skills. So I should, no, I did do my skills. So what did I miss skills on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, sorry, we have 9 dots in skills currently. I did the math wrong.
Oh, so yeah, we should have 9, right? Yeah, okay.
Right, yeah. So I reread this miserably. So you get 6 additional dots for a total of 15. Now to spend. So let's see. I'm going to take another dot of athletics. Another dot in enigmas. Another dot in commands.
You get 6 extra, you said?
Yeah.
I'm looking at an edge I can get. Haha! I'm going to do that. I'm going to take enhanced attunement for my other edge.
Oh, you're still catching up on edges?
Well, because I had to read what some of them were.
Fair enough.
I am not using as many of the core ones, so I was like, I don't know what this does, so I had to go look at it. As opposed to the core ones where I'm like, yeah, I pretty much understand what that does. But it means that my psi can be 1 point higher for attunement rolls in range, which is cool.
Right.
Okay, so 6 dots, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And they don't have to be in path skills. I'm just weirdly putting except in athletics, almost all mine are in path skills. Probably want a persuasion. And let's see, I show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, one more. No, that's right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, 15. Okay, I'm right. Okay, so I have 3 in aim, 1 in athletics, 2 in close combat, 3 in command, 3 in enigmas, 1 in integrity, 1 in persuasion, 1 in pilot.
Okay. I ended up with 1 in aim because I thought I should have at least a weapon just in case.
That makes sense.
3 in empathy, 2 in enigmas, 4 in medicine, 3 in science, and 2 in technology.
Okay.
So that is where I'm at.
For any skills at or above 3 dots, we gain a specialty.
Okay, so
aim, I'm going to use pistols. I don't think I'm going to use a lot of heavy weapons.
I'm actually going to switch my empathy 2 to my enigmas. I'm going to switch them. So I have empathy 2 and enigmas 3.
Okay. So pistols for aim. For command, I'm going to specialize in the captain.
And the captain?
Yeah, I'm the captain. So I can command my crew and people who respect the fact that I'm a captain, but otherwise it's not going to be as helpful. Enigmas, I'm going to say crime scenes. And I think that's it for me, yeah.
Yeah. I think my medicine one should probably just be xenobiology.
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't know what to put in enigmas. I wish it would be like science. Science enigmas.
I mean, you could do that.
Enigma is scientific, maybe?
Let me check the enigmas real quick.
I'll see why not.
Oh, it doesn't list special. This is one that doesn't have examples or stations,
yeah.
but yeah, scientific.
Yeah. Because you solve crimes and I solve weird shit.
Right.
Where is this bone from?
Any of your skills that have 3 or more dots, one of them you can pick for a skill trick for.
Mm-hmm.
And do I want commands or do I want enigmas? The enigma ones are really nice though.
Yeah.
Like connecting the dots.
Oh yeah, that one's really good.
Spend momentum, basically make a logical leap. I'm gonna do that one. That's honestly just a really good one.
So if you're gonna grab that one, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I will grab a different one.
There's some good medicine ones too.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the book, and then I realized I was looking at the wrong book.
Right. Diagnostic expert is really good.
Okay.
Basically, you don't even need instruments to tell what someone's wrong with somebody. But another one is quick aid, which is that you spend momentum and you can do first aid in a combat round.
Ooh, that's also really good.
Those are both really good ones.
Yeah. I think I will do... I think I'm going to do Diagnostic Expert.
Okay.
That's a good one. I like that one.
That's a good one. Okay, so we did skills. I think it's everything for skills. Let me double check. Points. Right, it's now attributes. Let me just check for Aeon. Yep, there's no changes to that. So,
okay.
You rank the 3 arenas in order of which the character is most adept. And then you put a 6 dots in your top arena, 4 in your middle, and 2 in your bottom.
Okay, what is yours going to be?
Physical is probably going to be my primary.
I meant the other way around. Okay, you're right. Well, mine's going to be intellect.
Right.
And what is the dot spread again?
6, 4, 2.
6, 4, 2. Thank you.
So yeah, physical primary, mental secondary. And then, actually, hold on. I'm going to need some social.
Oh yeah, for like presents and stuff.
Yeah. So you took mental primary, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me redo this. I'm actually going to take physical secondary.
Okay.
Uh, so do that. I will do social primary and then intelligence tertiary, which is sounds strange, but I'm going to use my basically it's I'm using my skills to kind of offset the penalties there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking more of a Captain Kirk type, where there's just lots of talking computers and blowing themselves up kind of thing.
Okay, all right, all right. What's your favorite approach gonna be?
Yeah, that's the next step. I'm probably thinking finesse because it'll give me the dexterity dot.
All right. Let's see. I'm torn between force and resilience because they're both really good. I'm gonna go resilience, I think.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna go force. I like force. I'm making a character who has no cunning whatsoever, and that's kind of fun. Um, so
I
current,
actually have a fair bit of cutting, so
yeah, but I like the idea of the kind of doctor character who is just like very straightforward and like
I mean,
doesn't pull
to
shit.
consider a Star Trek analogy, I mean, you're the Bones McCoy. It's like you say the shit that sometimes maybe shouldn't be said out loud.
Yeah. Although I think I'd be playing her more like Tendy,
It's even better.
just because Tendy's fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so I have ended up with. I have gotten like the more I play games and the older I get, the more I love making just wildly imbalanced characters who can't do some things. I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I used to care so much about making these like well-rounded characters who had like some combat and some social, and I'm like, fuck it, they don't know how to do anything except for this one thing they're really good at. So yeah, so my character has ended up with 5 dots in intellect, one
Mhm.
in cunning, 4 in resolve, uh, 2 in might, 3 in dexterity, 1 in stamina, 3 in presence, 1 in manipulation, and 4 in composure. Because I figure as a doctor, you got to be able to
Yeah, keep your shit together.
keep your shit together.
Put it in the bag. Keep your
Yep,
shit together.
get all your shit together.
Okay, so I think that's all the attribute stuff.
Yeah, and
Let me
also
double
I
check.
figured giving her some dexterity so she can like perform surgery
Right, yeah, that
would
makes sense.
probably make sense.
So now we apply the template, and so now we'll bounce
Psi
back to
orders.
Aeon. Yes. So choose your character's aptitude. So that comes from our order.
Uh huh.
Yours is Vitakinesis,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and mine is Psychokinesis.
Vitakinesis.
Okay, let me bounce back to this. Start with your starting psi trait, which is 2 for us. There's quantum kinetics and teleporters have 3, but we're not playing any of those, so don't worry about that.
So
So
this is what your basic side rate?
your basic psi, yeah.
I was gonna cheat off your character sheet, but then you got rid of it.
Oh, sorry, it's right here.
Oh,
So
down there. Okay.
yeah, it's underneath the aptitude. Yeah, all the psi stuff is in the bottom right hand corner of the first page. So yeah, your aptitude goes here. You have 2 dots of psi.
I understand now.
And assign your mode dots. Okay, so each of your psionics have different modes, which are basically kind of 3 starting groups of things. You also get all your basic powers. So, for example, as Vitakinetic, you get basic powers like Corellian Eye and Knit. Those are just, you get those automatically.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a list somewhere here. I saw it earlier today. Where did it go? Maybe not. Okay. So I just do it the hard way. So your modes are
Mine are iatrosis, agendus,
and Algius.
al algesis.
Algesis.
I can't say things.
Um,
I feel
and then
like
proxy powers are not stuff we have to worry about.
yeah.
And these are for people who are familiar with World Darkness. These are done like disciplines. So you as you put dots in them, you get the powers, and they go increasing power. It's like if you put 1 dot in Algesis, you get misfire. If you put 2 dots, you get misfire and assault, so on and so forth.
How many dots do you get in beginning?
That is an excellent question. I believe it's 3 dots, but let me double check.
So you can take up to 3 modes, but just 1 dot in each? Or
Um,
can you take 2 or what?
and aside your mode dots. Oh, it actually doesn't say there. That's interesting.
Mm.
Um,
This is the fun part about building characters
right.
when we go like, oh, you probably should have put that there, but we didn't. Oops.
Allocate 4 dots amongst the character's available modes. So you can there's 3 modes in each aptitude, each of which is rated from 1 to 6 dots. Each dot, at least 3 dots is allocated to modes from the science aptitude. So you can buy like ancillary aptitudes,
Okay.
but we're not there yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
So you have 4 modes, 4 dots of modes. Mine is psychokinesis.
Mm-hmm.
One of the nice things about this really nice bookmarks is you can actually just book the bookmarks and see your 3 things here.
Mm-hmm.
So I have thermokinesis, telekinesis, and parakinesis. So write those down, even if I remember them. Thermokinesis, telekinesis, and parakinesis. And my basic powers are distant touch and nudge.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
Thermokinesis is obviously manipulating temperature.
Mm-hmm.
Parakinesis is force fields mode. I make shields. Ooh,
That's cool.
I think I will put 2 dots in parakinesis. And I'm going to skim the ones I'm thinking right now. I'm going to do 1 dot in the other ones. First one is toe for telekinesis. Now 2 is remote hands. Can manipulate objects. That's kind of interesting. And then thermokinesis is equilibrium and flash.
It's all very cool.
Yeah. Too many cool things. I'll stick with my original gun. I'll go 1 each for right now. Because I know I have bonus points coming up. I might be able to
bonus points. Well, I have taken the 2 kind of opposite ones just for fun of play. I have taken Iatrosis, which is the like direct like healing, both psychological and physical.
Mm-hmm.
I've taken 2 dots in that, and I've taken Algesis, which is hurting people with the same capabilities. Because they figure that's a good way to get out of scrapes. Because I'm assuming we're going to get in a scrape. Because
Sure, right.
the game wouldn't be very fun if we just were constantly peaceful all the time.
Scrapes will definitely occur.
I mean, it's got to be like Star Trek, where we say, like, it's going to be peaceful and nothing bad will ever happen. And then every week something bad happens.
Right, exactly.
And you've got to, like, fight your way out of it.
Exactly. Okay, so we've assigned our mode dots. We also had 1 dot to 1 attribute in our preferred approach. So I had finesse. I'll take that 5th dot of dexterity. Why not?
I had another dot in intellect because, fuck it, I'm going to be an intellect 6 character. Or, wait, you can't do that at starting, can you?
No, only people with OR proxies can take up to 6.
Fine. I just wanted to.
I was about to say something about that, actually.
Okay, presence then.
There you go. Okay, so now we go to step 6, which is final touches. We get bonus traits. We get another extra attribute dot. The previous one was because of our being a part of the Prometheus chamber.
Mm-hmm.
This is just being a cool protagonist.
Can it go anywhere?
But you can go anywhere as long as it doesn't take you above 5.
I want to be above 5. No, it's fine. I'm gonna go with stamina because I've actually got only 1 dot in stamina right now, and I think I should have 1 more.
Right. I only have 2, so we're gonna be kind of frail. That's fine.
Well, now I also only have 2.
But I put my 2nd dot in intellect. Actually, you know what? I take it back. I'm gonna move it to put it in resolve.
I like that you're a frail space soldier.
Yeah, it's like, which explains the shields, right?
Yeah.
I don't need to be that tough because all my life I've learned how to use shields.
Like Captain America before the injection.
Right. Exactly.
You're still a really good soldier. You're just kind of fragile.
So we get 4 points of edges, which can come from outside the path, but must follow a normal prerequisites. So I was gonna look at the new edges here.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the edges in here too.
We do have augmentation edges, which are kind of cyberware-ish stuff.
Yes, please.
So there's like amphibious conversion and aquatic conversion and computer enhancement, which you might
Yes.
want to take because it requires
Yes.
a science path.
There's also psionic edges.
Yeah.
I've already got
Mars
one of
adaptation,
those.
low gravity adaptation is when you got. Oh, I
No,
was wrong about
my
that.
psionic edge is enhanced attunement, which was one of my ones I could choose for being a Scorpion Order.
Mhm. Um, Ooh, detached is interesting.
Favored
Basically,
mode
it
is
is
really good too.
yeah. Detached is injury conditions don't affect you for your psionic abilities.
Yeah, whereas favored mode for the listeners is that you're extra good at one of your modes, so you get 2 enhancement whenever you use it.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I think I'm just gonna actually get both of those.
I'm gonna take favored mode and do it for the healing one, because then it says you can spend the enhancement to increase one aspect of the power governed
Right.
by that, or you can purchase elements of a power as normal. So that means that effectively I can use my power up to 4 dots, is what I'm
Yeah,
getting.
I
That's
think so. Yeah.
awesome. I definitely want that, and I want it with my Itrosis. That is an excellent freaking edge for my character because that now it makes more sense that my healing powers are like really good, you know.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
and I think I'm
And
gonna
then
take some kind of tech thing. I just gotta look at it real quick.
yeah, honestly, I mean, uh, with your library stuff, the computer enhancement or the actually the Scion Biocomp enhancement may also be good.
Computer enhancement's cool because you automatically get lightning calculator and speed reading if you pay for them,
Hmm.
and 2 dots of eidetic memory.
It's almost like glass, but better.
Maybe it's because glass has improved.
That's a reference to Trinity Continuum Anima for those who don't know,
Yeah, yeah.
which chronologically takes place before this. That's a
Between the
design note.
war and this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I am, I think, going to take computer enhancement. And then later
Okay.
on, when I get more points, I can use them to buy some of those extra edges, you know?
Right. Actually, I went just double check real quick, make sure there's nothing else. Uh, okay, so we're still doing bonus traits. All right, so let's finish that up. May award additional experience. We're not doing that. The cost for each of those. Okay, so now we figure out health and defense. If
Oh, you
I
know
don't
what?
think
I'm
either of
not
it.
going to take it because I read the rest of it.
Oh, what does it
Yeah.
say?
Okay, so this is actually really interesting. For all its good things, there's a really big drawback for computer enhancement, and
Mm-hmm.
that's that for the reason for the distrust of this enhancement is clear. Both during and after the Aberrant War, Aberrant and also human hackers were able to control people using their augmentation. Also, electrokinetics with 3 dots and technokinesis can completely alter the perceptions of any user if they overcome the failsafe rating of 5. Aberrants who can control electronics can do this and also turn the user into a puppet. As a result, most people are horrified by the idea of this enhancement, and anyone known to possess it suffers a complication of 2 to social roles to inspire trust or positive feelings.
Oh, well, in that
And
case,
that
maybe.
undoes everything. I'm gonna take increased tolerance so I can have Bioware,
There you go.
but I'm not gonna take a computer because I think that my whole thing is inspiring trust as a doctor. So
Oh,
yeah.
that makes a ton of sense. But so I'm guessing again to continue our analogies, like that's why you don't see very many kind of like explicitly cyborg characters in like a Star Wars or a Star Trek or a Mass Effect kind of game,
Yeah, because you can hack them.
right?
All right, cool. So I have changed what I have taken upon reading the 2 paragraph drawback. Anyway, we are moving on to what? I'm sorry.
Yes. So our injury conditions, I think both of us stamina too. So it's just the default bruised, injured, and sorry. Oh yeah, bruised, injured, and maimed.
Okay,
The defaults of those.
on it.
Defense. Our defense is 1,
Appropriate
or
resilience.
sorry, it's appropriate. Yeah. So we skip all that. Blah 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 blah. All right. So now back to Aeon. Characters who are quantum connection teleporters. Don't worry about that. So if we wanted to, we could have foregone the bonus attribute dots to start play with psi trait of 3, but I think it's just fine. Unless you want to.
No, I'm good.
Yep. Okay, so that's basically it. What we kind of glossed over a little bit here is that Um, uh, Size really heavily specialized in that. The reason why you have three modes is because you only get access to the one aptitude. You can get what's called an auxiliary mode with experience points,
Mm-hmm.
which you'll get one dot ever, but you can pick one mode outside of your aptitude because in this stage of the game, psychic powers are bleeding a little bit out, but they're still pretty heavily specialized. So, like, if you want to pick up like a single dot in something else, kind of just a weird adjunct power, you can.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's one of those games again where it seems like there's a whole lot of information here, but once you dig in, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I would definitely. Were I going to play this character, I'd be adding in a bunch of Bioware that I
Right.
don't currently have on here, because there is a lot of really cool Bioware in the game that I like.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a lot of really cool armor and things like Vargs, which I mean, if you've got a mini Varg, you don't really need to be stamina based
Right. For those who know, Vargs are basically mecha
mechs.
suits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there are mini Vargs and like big Vargs. And they are very cool. And then yeah, there's all kinds of cool like armor, um, some very interesting weapons that I'm a big fan of.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, some of which are kind of more your classic weapons, and some of which are very 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 sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
Like vibro blades and sonic weapons are cool as shit.
Yeah, like Trinity generally has a pretty light. One thing I like about Trinity Continuum is that it's a pretty light touch on stuff. If you want to just say, I have a pistol, I have a gun,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, you can do that. But this is definitely one of the games where there's a lot of really neat, cool things you can have if you want.
Yeah.
Um, in a bit like Assassins is another actually a great example. Assassins also has the you're playing Assassins. Of course, you have lots of cool, interesting
Mm-hmm.
tech and weapons and stuff. So the kind of Trinity game you play can kind of help you go that direction or not. So this is definitely a game where it's like you have all sorts of different armor and cool guns and cool vehicles because it's that kind of sci-fi game. You want to have lots of different options. Again, we keep going to Mass Effect, but it's a really good touchstone because like you have different kinds of weapons you choose from, different kinds of armor, and those choices matter. This is
Mm.
one of those games where those kind of choices do matter. But also, if you want to just say, I have a slug thrower and a piece of armor and just pick the basic tags and go, you also can if you want to, but you
Yeah.
can dig deep in this if you find that interesting.
And also for characters like the one I just made, but then on page 288 it starts like actual like medicine and medical gear, which is usually helpful. So like there's trauma kits and there's a medical robot. So this is all stuff that my character would
Mm-hmm.
probably want to have.
And
There are
drugs
various
too.
drugs. Yeah, and then there's a bunch of like various commercial augmentations and bioapps, like vision enhancement and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are a bunch of psionic ones kind of near the end, which are really interesting as well. So
Yep.
definitely, like, depending on what you're playing and where you're playing and how complicated you want your game to be, I always recommend going through those if you can. Um,
Right. And so like
yeah.
my character, I would probably because I have the edge I do as women, I could probably go through a lot of those weapons and armor and pick a fair amount of them because I don't have to worry about my wealth edge to be able to actually pay for this. Because how these work basically is the cost here is how much dots and wealth you have. Can you just take it or not?
hmm But also, I mean, in the game that we have just kind of set up, where we are kind of like doing a Star Trek mission situation,
Mm-hmm.
I would probably allow my players to have certain things, like everybody can have a certain kind of armor because it's been issued to
Right.
you, and
Mm-hmm.
like you could have a spaceship because you have to.
Right.
So I wouldn't worry about wealth tags for that because they've been issued.
Right.
But it would be a problem if like your ship, I don't know, got damaged and you had to pay it back.
Right.
But
They
yeah.
kind of almost a Firefly thing of yeah, you get the equipment for free, but you're paying for it in plot hooks.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So,
Cool. Want to
yeah.
head back to the main screen?
Are we gonna do a did you know? Wait a
Yes,
minute,
we
wait a
are.
minute. We haven't named our
But
characters.
I named my character.
Well, I didn't see it. Captain
It's Captain Wilhelm Barry.
Wilhelm Barry. It's like a
Hmm.
German Englishman.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's the future, and then you always tell the future about the fact that national names, the very strong nationality, are mixed together.
True, 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 true. I am going to be. Maybe Doctor something. I'll figure it out while we're doing the next one.
Doctor
So I'm
something.
going to go to a Did You Know? So here
Okay.
is a fact. And now we're back.
In fact,
I try to give them long enough to read the fact, you know?
right, yeah, and also long enough for me to push a button.
So yeah, this is cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like I said, I mean, it seems like it's a lot, but it's really not. At the end of the day, the only thing different from talents is instead of gifts, which are very bespoke, you pick whichever ones make sense. This is you have a wider array of options, but you pick from a ladder. You start at the top and you work your way down.
Yeah, yeah. It was actually like, I think for some reason I thought it was going to be more complex, even though I
Mm.
worked on this book forever ago. Simply because I like making an aberrant character has a lot of widgets.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I think because it's a set after aberrant and anima, in my brain it was going to have more widgets, but it doesn't because it was made before them and it's a very different thing, you know.
Right. No, aberrant. I mean, at some point in time, minor spoilers, but at some point we are going to make aberrant characters, and that's probably one we're going to have to come into a little bit more prepared because power creation is not complicated, but there are a lot of choices that we have to talk through. So maybe a case of like we speed through the like stuff like the skills and attribute dots to kind of just start putting those in as red, and then dig into the powers more specifically.
That's super cool though. I'm excited. And also when we do aberrant, I'm going to try to make a specific character. I think I'm just going to pick a superhero and go with it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same thing. Because it's a good way to kind of show here's the flexibility of the system because Aberrant's very intentionally trying to emulate. This is trying to touch on a few different space opera things, but also show its own distinct world. Aberrant is also doing that, but it was designed specifically to say, okay, but if you want to play Marvel Cinematic Universe with Aberrant, you really could.
Oh yeah, totally. Like I know that when I made the character idea for the actual play a while back, it was a mixture of two of my favorite superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
So I mooshed together Kitty Pryde and Scarlet Witch. So she had some
Nice.
like weird psychic powers, and then also she could phase through things.
Shadow Witch.
Yeah, and the coolest moment of that in the actual play that I will remember is when I had to like pull a bullet out of somebody, and I did it by phasing into their body.
Oh my
And they were
gosh.
like, "This feels weird," and I was like, "For me too," but it was cool.
Nice, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it was very creepy though. Like I just turned into a ghost and was like, "Hello, I'm inside of you now."
just, just gonna pull stuff out of your chest. No big deal.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so very cool. So as always, we'll be putting our character sheets in the Discord, in the
Mm-hmm.
streams channel, because that's fun, and people want to see our see our characters we just made.
See your characters, absolutely, yeah. So if you aren't on the Discord, that's definitely a good reason to kind of swing by so you can kind of see those as you do them every couple of weeks. But if people wanted to find you online to talk to you about Aeon or the cool character you made, where would they find you?
You can find me pretty much everywhere as Dixie Cyanide, which is under here. And also I am in the Discord fairly often, hanging out, putting pictures of rabbits that are illegal rabbits.
Illegal rabbits, yes.
Well,
That's the current.
unofficial, but yeah.
No, I said they were illegal.
What about you, Eddy?
Find me at Pugsteady. That's also my website, pugsteady.com. If you do want to talk more about illegal rabbits, you can find my game, Realms of Pugmire, at realmsofpugmire.com. And yeah, we generally do hang out in Discord. So if you want to chat with us, that's a great place to do it.
It surely is. And
Yes.
yeah, so thank you for tuning in for those who did.
Oh yeah, and also I should quickly pull up what we're going to do next time because I always forget to do that. I am great at this. Pull up a document. So next time together, we are going to make legend lore characters. That's right. We're going to use a D&D 5, but we're actually going to use them to make legend lore characters.
Yay! I'm so excited. I love Legend Lore.
So I have to find an actual D&D 5e sheet because I'm so used to using D&D Beyonds now.
Yeah. I mean, we just screen share D&D Beyond and be like Legend
I mean,
Lore.
maybe, but we'll have to do the custom stuff.
Yeah, we
Maybe-
actually
maybe
could
give
not
a
do that.
shot.
No.
Oh,
We'd
okay.
have to homebrew all of it in there first. I don't want to do that.
Fair enough. Okay.
All
We'll
right,
just,
all
we'll
right.
just do it the hard way.
All right, thank you to everybody for tuning in. And if you're watching on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it helped you out with making Aeon characters.
Absolutely. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.